So, so I said that I would make Khemjira episode 8 spoiler video, but I'm actually quite lost because I don't know from where to start. Because though the drama is following the plot lines from the novel, but the way they are following is very different because they're including scenes in a very mixed match way, like not as the same as the novel. So I really don't know what they're gonna include next, but one thing is sure. So yeah, we're gonna lose Grandma C and one of the two little servant spirits, Thong. Yeah, and after Thong, Ek also wishes to follow him. So yeah, they both perishes, but they get into the reincarnation cycle. Yeah, and Thong perishes while trying to save Kim from Grandma Si, who was already dead but then possessed by Rampung. So, and when Grandma Si was possessed by Rampung, she then shows Kim what his karmic debt was about and the vile things that his family or the Lionel family did to her back then. So what happens is that Kim during the timeline of Rumpung was a girl, a little girl, and his mother from this timeline was also her mother from that timeline. And so Kim in the timeline of Rumpung was the daughter, and her mother was the third wife of a very prominent family, and Rumpung was the fourth wife who was a servant, but because the master, like I mean the head of the family liked her so much, so he made her his fourth wife, even though he had to fight with the first wife and the official wife. So one time when both the first wife and the both the first wife and the fourth wife were pregnant, and the head of the family was outside for his work. So the first wife gave birth to a son, but he died very quickly after birth. And on the same night, Rampung, and on the same night, the ghost also gave birth to a son. But since the first wife couldn't let that happen, since her child died, so she took Rampung's child and literally threw the baby into the water before the mother's eyes. And that scene was seen by Kim, or the Kim's girl version from that time. And when looking for her daughter, Kim's mother also finds her, and like because they were very afraid of the first wife, they quickly ran away. But them running away was seen by the first wife and the fourth wife. Yeah. So a message is sent to the husband, and he comes home and asks what the situation was about. When Ramphung complains what the first wife did to her, the first wife says that she was very much grieving about her child, that she did not do anything and she was just resting. And even the third wife and her daughter came to look after her. And when they called the third wife, Kim's mother, back in the timeline, and the Rampung asks Kim to tell what she saw that night, but she just says that Kim from that timeline says that Rampung was the one who threw her own child into the river. And like Rampung is basically accused of being a drug addict, using opium, and under the influence, she herself threw her newborn child into the river and accused the first wife. And after that, she is beaten to death. And Rampung curses the whole family with her last breath, saying how they may only face calamity from then on, and no son may continue the lineage. And if the descendants were born, if they were female, then they may lose their lovers either by separation or death. And if the descendants were son, then they may not live past 20. So that was how Kim's karmic debt was formed. Yeah.